Hello everyone, I'm back again. What is this, day 7? I think this is day 7 of our sock series. So if you haven't been with me before, my name is Kelly Slack. I was invited to guest teach by Heather from Pearly Shell Fiber Arts. I'm the co-owner of Black Sheep Fiber Emporium with my partner Tina. I have 2 master's degrees in teaching. I really love teaching. I'm the self-published author of 2 books, and I actually have them with me today. My Hoppy Feet, which is all about socks, and Froth and Foam, which is a lace book. I have made over 100 pairs of socks, and I don't know everything, but I do know a lot about socks. I know a lot about a lot of things, but I know a lot about socks. So today we are talking about top-down heels, and there are lots and lots of top-down heels, but don't forget that my segments, my videos, are sponsored by Black Sheep Fiber Emporium, Kelly Slack Designs, and Pearly Shell. So make sure that you are giving them a little bit of love and following their social media accounts. We do have Facebook, clearly, because you're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. I try to make sure that I put all of the videos up on both the Facebook page as well as the YouTube channel. So you know, I am trying to make sure that no matter which way you like to do your social media, you can find us. All right, so today it is all about that beautiful heel. So we're talking about top-down socks, we're talking about heels today, and we're going to talk about lots and lots of different heels, because there are many different heels available for top-down socks. There's the traditional heel flap, which I have started on my tiny keychain sock. So here is the cute little keychain sock, and here's its cute little heel flap, and it's all ready to have that heel turn done so we can pick up our little gusset stitches on the side. So I have that for a little bit later. But before we get to that, I want to show you what some different heels look like. So traditional heel flap is pretty common. I actually brought a whole pile of socks from my Hoppy Feet book. Look at this, socks, so many socks, socks. And I only have, this one happens to be a toe-up sock, so that one has to wait for a little bit. And this one is as well, so that's also a toe-up, and it will also wait for later. So different types of heels. This one's fun. This one is a colorwork patterned heel, and yes, there is a bunny on it. So that's a bunny, colorwork patterned heel. Okay, so you can put colorwork on your heels. This one is an eye of partridge, so just a little different look to a regular heel flap. So it's a heel flap, still a heel flap. You can see where the stitches were picked up for the gusset. You can see the heel turn here at the bottom, but just a little bit different look to the heel flap itself. Let's see. This one is a band heel. So this one is my fireworks sock, which we did for July, because I did a monthly sock. So there's my fireworks, right? And this is the band heel, because, you know, there's always a band on the 4th of July. So here's the band. And it's just a little different placement of the heel turn and the cupping. So instead of doing it all in one little section, you kind of do it down the band of the heel. So a band heel, something a little bit different. What's another one? Let's see. I think this one is the German heel? Let me look this up. I want to get this right. It's either the German heel or it's the French heel. This is the German heel. So with the German heel, this one's very similar to a Welsh heel, where it has the pearl stitch bands on the sides. So pearl stitch bands on the sides. And then you still have that regular sort of heel cup and turn here. What else? Let me find my Welsh heel while I'm thinking about it. See if I can find it. That one's a slip stitch. Slip stitch. Okay, I might be a little bit. I thought that I had my Welsh heel. Let me double check. Thought that. Well, skip that for the moment. So I have a Welsh heel somewhere in my pile of things here as well, because, you know, why not? But let's talk about the French heel. So here's the French heel. We have a German heel, we have a French heel, we have a Welsh heel. There's all kinds of heels. There's tons of heels out there. So this one, very similar again, but this one doesn't have those purl stitches along the sides. This one's just a straight up flap where you knit, purl, back and forth, and then, you know, and then we do that heel cupping again. So lots of heels. There's so many different heels out there, so many different ones. This one's fun. This one has cables and a touch of lace on the back of the heel, and you use the purl reverse to bring that cable together down into the base of that heel. This one carries cables all the way down. So there's lots of things that you can do with your heels. Lots of things. So many things you can do with the heel, right? It's part of why I love top-down socks. It's really easy for me to think through how to do all of these things with the heel as well. Let's see. There's one more heel that I want to talk about. So we talked about the heel, flat band heel, patterned heels, French heels. So we also have there's two different ones. There's an afterthought heel and a peasant heel, and they're related, but they're a little bit different. So with the afterthought heel, you knit a tube, and then you cut a row and unravel your knitting for part of your row, and then pick up stitches and knit out. And for the peasant heel, you put in a placeholder, so like a line of yarn in a different, from a different color, whatever, that you're going to pull out later. And same idea, you pick up those stitches and then you work your way out. At least, maybe I switched those. I always get them confused in my head, so don't quote me on that one. I might have those switched. But one puts the line of stitches in and you take it out later. One, you cut it, pull your stitches out, and build your heel out. So this is what it looks like. It's basically what I like to think of as a second toe, because you work your way down. And you put your decreases along the sides of the heel just like you do along the sides of your toe. So that is, there's an afterthought and a peasant heel, very, very similar. It's a very similar idea that you're picking up stitches and you're working your way out. All of these heels fit just a little bit differently. So if you have trouble getting your socks to fit, you may need to try a different heel. Or you might need to adjust, for example, how many stitches you're using in the width of your heel, or how many stitches you're using in the cup of your heel. Some people do have a narrower heel. Some people have a wider heel. So you may need to use more stitches. You may need more stitches because you need more width to go around the base of that heel so that you get that cup action, right? When it comes to me, I know that for the most part, I can just take half of the stitches in my sock and I can make a slip stitch heel flap and it's going to fit my foot just fine. This is what, one of those heels looks like. Right there. Something a little bit different. So it just depends on, what you like best, how you like your socks to fit. I'm going to show you kind of my usual method. So there's another sock right there. You can see here's my heel flap, but I've used some patterning down that heel, the little heel flap, right? All right, so let me grab my little demonstration sock and we will talk about where to put the stitches to cup the heel of your sock. And I'm going to turn the camera down. Oop, that was a sock blocker. Okay, so here we are with our lovely little spotted mat. So what I've done is I've already gone ahead and here's my little demo sock on double points because that's what I like. You don't have to knit on double points. You can do this with any method. This will work with any method, okay? So here's my 10 stitches. I have 10 stitches for my little sock here. And I'm ready to turn my heel, which means that I need to work across my sock and I need to take some stitches away by decreasing to cup the heel. So I'm just going to slip my first stitch like I normally do. And then there's only 10 stitches here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches puts me at the center. If you have a really, really narrow heel, you're going to want to start your decreases and balancing your heel turn kind of right in the middle of your stitches. If you happen to have a wider heel, you are going to want to take more stitches to the side. So you're going to want to knit further so that you can have a wider cup at the base of that heel. And what I'm talking about is the area at that heel where you are decreasing away to make this cup right here that goes around the base of your heel. If you have a wider foot, you should start your decreases further out to each side. If you have a narrower foot, they should start closer into the middle. So if you happen to have a very narrow heel, you'll want to go ahead and do your stitches right away, right there at the middle. But this one's a little practice sock, so I'm going to show you what to do. We're going to slip, slip, and knit 2 together and knit 1. And now I know that I only have 2 stitches left over here, so when I turn and work my way back, so I'll slip the first one and purl 1, 2, actually not even that much, just purl 1. I know that I have to leave 2 stitches and I need to do a purl 2 together and a purl 1. This is how I figure out how many stitches I need on each side of the gap. I just need to make sure that I have the same number left on each side. So if there were 2 stitches here, there should be 2 stitches there. And if there's 3 stitches here, there should be 3 stitches there. That's how I know how many stitches I need to make my little heel cup. So then I'll slip this first stitch, work my way across, and slip, slip, knit, knit 2 together, knit 1, then I'm going to turn back around, and again I'll do the same thing where I'm going to purl and then purl across to my gap, purl 2 together, purl 1. Okay, and that was it. Now I've made my little tiny heel turn on my teeny weeny little practice sock here. And when it comes to picking up the stitches along the gusset, the best thing that I can tell you is that when you pick these stitches up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you'll want to pick up a couple more stitches than you think you need up in the gap area. So in that space where when you are putting your stitches back on the needle right here, you may have issues if you don't add a couple of stitches in here and then decrease them away. The other thing I always do is I knit them through the back loop. So I've picked up 5 stitches. I'm going to knit 3, 4, 5 through the back loop, and then I'm going to go ahead and pick up a couple more stitches right here. I'm going to pick up the base of this stitch, and I'm going to pick up, let's see, the base of this stitch, and I'm actually going to, I'm just going to knit these 2 together. Sometimes I knit them together through the back loop, and sometimes I just do a knit 2 together. Just like that, to really tighten down this corner. And if you need to, you can always get rid of that stitch again. But what that's going to do is that's going to help prevent any holes at the corner of your sock, because you've picked up a couple of extra stitches and now you're decreasing them away. But it's a nice tight corner now. You aren't going to get holes in that like you might find otherwise. Here's a sock where you can see where I've picked them up. So right here, there should be a hole here, but you can see I've knit this one through the back loop and I've picked a couple of extra stitches up right here. That's my best tip for making sure that you don't have those holes in your gusset, is to knit these stitches through the back loop and to make sure that you pick up a couple extra and knit them away. All right. Well, we have hit the end of today's video on our sock heels. I hope that you've learned a little something. You've seen some heels or learned about some new heel terms that you didn't know that might be a little bit new to you. Don't forget that we are talking more tomorrow. Let's see, tomorrow it is What's tomorrow's lesson? Tomorrow is toes. So we're talking all about toes, and oh, there's so many toes as well when it comes to top-down socks. I'm very excited about socks. I really like socks. So we're going to talk about toes. We're going to talk about how to do the Kitchener stitch. We're going to talk about star toes. There's just all kinds of things. Lots of fun things to talk about in the next lesson. So make sure that you are tuning in. I will see you next time, and don't forget to go give some love to Black Sheep Fiber Emporium, Kelly Slack Designs, and Pearly Shell, since they are the people that are bringing all of these lovely free videos to you. I hope that they are helping. I hope they're helping. I love socks. If you have questions about socks, you can always contact me. See you tomorrow.